Hello brothers and sisters, welcome to another episode here on Dangerous African Confessions HD. In this episode, we have the continuation of the story from our brother who is a pastor, who was sharing with us his life journey. The pain, anguish and suffering that he has been through. In this very story, our brother tells us how and what his wife has taken him through in the course of their marriage as pastor and wife. He talks about the kind of life and treatment the wife gave him after he introduced a scheme that brought about financial freedom to the people in his church, and put the wife in charge as a business coach in the church. Without wasting much of your time, let us go and listen to what we have for today. Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload.
One day, the lead singer in the church approached me in my office. He said he wanted to have a father and son conversation, where the son can be totally honest with the father, regardless of what the issue is all about. And he then asked me to promise him that I will not fire him from the church when he tells me what he wants to. I promised him that nothing of that sort will happen. He told me that he loves me and can't hold on to such an important information. His issue was that I should be very vigilant about my wife and some of her activities with some of the guys in the church. I was about getting angry when he said, "I knew you would be angry when you hear this from me. That is the reason why some of us fear to come and tell you the truth. But I feel I cannot hold on to it anymore." He said, "Sir, I respect you a lot and I cannot come here and say something that I don't know. And I cannot come here and say such a thing about no person rather than your wife." He said, "Before you take any action against me or crucify me, do your investigations. When it turns out to be false, you can do anything you want with me. All I wanted to tell you is that your wife is not faithful to you, so I am just here to do as my spirit tells me to." He finished with his statement and went out of my office, leaving me confused and angry at the same time. After some time, I went out to call on him, but I was told that he was gone already. I told myself not to make anyone suspicious about the information he has given me, because I didn't know if it was true or not. I had taken a decision to let it go and pretend he didn't say anything. But then, I started noticing something that didn't look right to me. That is what prompted me to take what my singer had told me earlier. My wife sometimes will come home and will spend a longer time in the washroom than she used to do. This sudden change was something that was not normal to me. Then again, she started coming to the house late at times. I know she runs her business, but I have been with her for long to know her schedule and time that she comes home. It got to a time that I was like practically living with only our young son who was 3 years by then, and the maids in the house. She will always tell you that she was caught up in traffic, giving one excuse to the other each and every day. This didn't sound right to me. So, I decided to call the singer and the guys to find out what was going on. I called the guys that are working in the church and have a meeting with them. This included the singer also. I had already asked him about the people he feels suspicious about. And he told me that he only knows of the keyboardist and my aide who my wife had taken as her aide also. With this information, I needed to put fear in them in order to get to the truth. I made them swear that whatever I was going to talk to them about, they would tell the truth, and if they do lie, whatever consequences that I pronounced should come upon them. After this, I called them one after the other in my office and asked them what they know about my wife and her secret affairs with some of the members. It was during this meeting with the workers that I got to know that my aide was sleeping with my wife. Same as my keyboardist and also 2 other guys who were also in the church but stopped worshiping with us. In this particular meeting that I called, the keyboardist wasn't there but my aide was also present. When they had told me about what they know, I called all of them together and asked them generally, because it was as though all of them knew what was going on. So, when I asked my aide who was then working for me about what he knows, at first he didn't want to say anything, but then after some time, he said that he knew all along, but was scared to tell me because it involved my wife. He actually told me that it was him who had told the singer about it at first, and then the singer then upon further investigations got to know the real truth that what he told him was true. I cautioned all of them never to mention our meeting to anyone and it should stay between us. I called the singer and my aide that very evening to meet me somewhere outside of the house. I couldn't grasp what they told me. Apparently, she had tried to lure the singer to also get himself involved with her. But then he told her that, what I have been doing for him, there was no reason why he would do that. He then told me that, the guys are being lured into doing that with my wife because of money. She gives them money. I never knew she was the one who had given them money to rent the apartments they were living in. My aide then told me that, even though my wife had not approached him personally for such things, he came to that conclusion or realization when he started seeing the way my wife was becoming too close to the age she asked for. After explaining everything to me in my car, to tell you the truth, I didn't know what to do again. Whether to go home or not. Not knowing what I would do if I go to the house, I asked them to escort me to a hotel. I booked a room in that hotel and that was where I spent the night. These two guys decided not to leave me in the hotel all alone. Because they feared I can do something bad to myself. Even though I promised them that nothing will happen, they still didn't go. They ended up sleeping in the sofas that was in the room. In the morning, I told them to go home and then meet me at the church later in the day. That morning, I picked up a phone and called my mother. When she answered the call, I couldn't say anything but just started crying on the phone. She asked me what the problem was, but I was too much ashamed to tell her. I told her I wanted to come over. So I went to her house that very morning. As soon as my mother saw me, she hugged me and asked what the problem was. I couldn't let her go, I kept on hugging her. I told her I just want to be here. After some time, I gathered some courage and told my mother what the guys revealed to me. She looked at me in the eyes and told me that, you don't have a case. She said if you are to approach her right now, what proof do you have to back what you are saying? I then realized I had to get proof of her actions. So I called my singer and had a plan with him to accept her proposal. And should make sure he cooperates with her to any extent she wants to go. At first he didn't want to do it, but I practically begged him to do it for me. So he finally agreed to do it. My plan was that, he will be giving me updates on whatever will be happening till it gets to the time and date that she will ask them to meet and have whatever she wanted to do with him. He also kept giving me feedback upon feedback. He will always send to me any chats that she will have with him. I also kept the chats in a secret folder on my phone. The day came and she told my singer to go and book a hotel and she will meet him there. She gave him a direction to one particular hotel, and so the singer also did just as she asked him to. I went together with him to book the hotel room. I also booked one for myself and it was just after the room that was given to them. When my wife came finally, and was with him in the room, the idea was that, the singer will call for a room service to bring them food. That is when I will rush to go inside the room. It worked just perfectly. And when I entered, my wife had actually removed her dress and she had only her brassiere and pants on. My singer also had his shirt removed. I intentionally gave him a slap so that my wife would not suspect him. I finally had my evidence. I recorded some video of her and the singer in the room. And went out of the hotel. This wasn't something that I wanted to make public. So that day when she came to the house, I told her I cannot continue to live with her as my wife. So, she should respectfully pack her things and leave. For all the necessary things that I should for her legally I will. She wanted to beg and all those things that ladies do say when things like this happen. But I honestly wasn't ready to listen to someone who can disgrace me to this manner. Called for the two families and all the procedures were done and the marriage was dissolved. My only problem now is, I don't know if my small boy is even my son biologically. I have made attempts to go for a DNA test but, the fear of the outcome always pushes me to stop. I honestly fear for the outcome of the results. That is why I still have not carried the DNA test. Because I love my boy and I can't live to know that, the boy that I have come to love as my son is not mine. Brother, this is how my wife betrayed our marriage vows with my own workers in the church. Disgracing me to that level. But then, I don't blame her, I blame myself for not listening to my mother and the voice of the Lord when I was about getting married to her. I have been a wise person now. Please don't wait till it happens to you before you become wise. Thank you.
Don't forget to please subscribe, share and like our videos. Kindly hit the notification bell so you will be the first to get notification to our videos when we upload. Like I always say, these are not just stories for story's sake. They are meant for us not to make these mistakes our brothers and sisters are making. That's why we share these stories with you. Sometimes some of these stories comes in as a shock to us. Because I am wondering why and how as a married woman you will start to do such things at the back of your husband. And not just any man, knowing that your husband is a pastor who leads a congregation. And it is among those members that you want to try your evil schemes on. I know our followers and listeners will also share their thoughts and comments, but we should know that, if as a pastor you can't understand what it means to not listen to the words that are being said by your mother, then at that moment, there is something wrong. I am not saying we should listen to everything our parents or mothers will say, but judging from what he tells is, his mother is someone who is cool, calm and knows what she is about. He should have given his mother objections a second thought and possibly even stop going ahead with the marriage. I pray that we learn from some of these stories and live a better life. If not for anything at all, it pays to live a decent and better life. Stay blessed and be safe. Thanks for being a part of this growing family. Kindly share your thought with us in the comment section below. And if you are new here, please subscribe, like and share.